I just put up your securitization is illegal. I went out before and I didn't catch it, so that's just been posted.
Which one?
The securitization is illegal, the one that you put up at my one.
Yeah,
spot.
somebody said
I
that to me, and basically it's
2 o'clock.
sort of a good read. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's up in all 3 places now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be setting up a new folder in the We the People group called Claiming Your Labors. And I'm going to move a bunch of the files into there. So I'll take care of that.
Good.
I'll be deleting a bunch of the older files off We the People there, too. So you need to go into eConcurrent and delete a bunch of those folders out of there, too. Old stuff.
Right.
Yeah. If anybody wants it, go ahead and save it now.
I'll make it match what you got.
Yeah, because we're going to delete a bunch of those old files because basically a bunch of them are getting people confused in the damn process.
Yes, I'll have them all on my computer in case you ever need them in the future, but we'll take them off the site.
Okay. I'll take care of the We the People site. You don't have to do that, Tom.
Good.
Okay. Everything that we've been doing, okay, with the non-UCCs, okay, the whole deal in this country is labor is money. Labor built this country. Mm-hmm. That's the money that made this country run. One of the guys told me that basically one of the reasons why Caesar was killed was because he was going to print labor coins, which basically would have been in direct opposition to the tokens that the bankers use because they can get interest off the usage of their tokens. And that's what basically JFK got killed over because he was going to make labor dollars out here. Not anything else but labor dollars. Basically sort of like what Abraham Lincoln did. That's what the greenbacks were really labor dollars. Okay? And the bankers came in and they set up, initially in 1913, they set up the Department of Labor. Okay? They had to have a depository for the people's labor that they were going to obtain from the people's securities that they were going to issue to the people so that they could get interest off of the securities. And then they set up the Federal Reserve Bank, and then they set up the income tax in the fall of 1913 under the Tariff Act. You can check all this out. It's in the statutes at large, if you don't believe me, okay? But it's all out there. Okay? I've told you to check these things out before, but some of you don't know how to check them out, and then basically you go running over to a YouTube or something like that and see somebody talking about UCC over here, and basically they have no idea what they're talking about. They got you going to the Secretary of State or to the county to record a UCC. We're in the private. Let's stand in the private. We've got our own records that we keep. We don't need public records out here. We use the mail system to register mail back to us. Therefore, now it's under registered mail and sealed, the originals that we have. We keep those in our Bible or whatever record book you want to keep them in. If we're the holders of the original document, we can make certified copies of those. We can be the certifier. Now, everything out here, basically all your bills and everything that we've been trying to send into the Department of the Treasury to the IRS using 1099s and all that garbage, that's the wrong place. It's all about labor. Therefore, we have to go to the Department of Labor and put our claim in for our labors that are being held there. Sort of like the labors of Hercules. You have to go and get your labors back, given back to you. Your receipts. If you pay a traffic ticket, okay? I went into the state of Iowa, okay, into the Labor Department. It's called the Bureau of Labor in Iowa, and they had a form there, a wage division, and basically I went into that, and basically I found this wage claim worksheet. Okay, it's 6 pages, I think, altogether, or 4 pages. On page 2, it's got a wage claim worksheet. I had Tom post that up on the site, the Iowa wage claim sheet. You can use that wage claim worksheet and fill it in. It's got wages or salary, reimbursement, illegal deductions, and other down below. You can list your traffic tickets. You can list anything you paid. You need to have a reimbursement for it. This is an insurance claim form, an assurance claim form. You are supposed to be the assured on all these certificates and licenses that we have out here. Our labor is sitting there, but we have to come in and claim it, either present the bill to them before the 30 days is up, or pay it and then go in and claim the reimbursement. Or other items like a Paris bonds or anything that they put out there. Somebody gets in jail. Basically, you order a set-off for the charge while you're in jail. Order them to pay the bill. The Labor Department. You set it off. Now, if these courts basically hold something over you, or the parole department on a debtor's charge, that is slander of title. And you can bring charges against them. In this country, and I've said this before, in the very first volume of Statutes at Large, it says in there that basically if the courts did not process and set off a debt that a person owed, then they were to petition the Secretary of the Treasury. These courts are obligated also to basically set off the debt. There was never supposed to be any debtor prisons in this country. That's what our founding fathers set this republic up, that there would be no debtor prisons. And these arrogant asshole whores and pimps that we have in there as bar attorneys, and don't worry about it, they can't claim slander, because that's exactly what they are. They're racketeering. They're using bribery from us to try and get us to pay a bribe to them so that we can basically commit a violation of the law. The violation of the law, like traffic tickets. We have the right to travel. We don't need to pay no bribe to no stinking judge or stinking cop that's out there on the take. That's mafiosa bullshit. racketeering. When you understand this, then you can start standing up to them. You fly the American flag on your vehicle. The 13 stripes, red, white, and blue. That is the flag of the nation. Okay? Not the corporate flag. They try and claim it's their flag, but it's not. It's our flag. It's got 13 stripes. 13 stripes stands for us, we the people. You'd be surprised when you fly the flag. Don't fly one of those Dixie flags, or basically don't tread on me flags. Fly the American flag. That's what the vessels out on the high sea do. And then basically if they get attacked, then the U.S. Marines will come in to their aid. These cops know that flying that flag, that vehicle is essentially protected. You put a no soliciting sticker on your bumper. You take any advertisement off the vehicle. You don't do commercial advertisement. You can take your plates and turn around and send them back in and claim your title back from the Department of Labor. Cash it out. The Department of Labor is basically where all our laboring security contracts are held. And also anything that we've deposited into the system. Now, when you look at the Iowa claim form, they come down there and they talk about overtime. That the state won't pay the overtime. You have to go to the federal Department of Labor at your federal building, federal courthouse, or the federal building that's attached to that district courthouse. That's what the U.S. trustee does. He goes there and basically draws funds out of your labor account to pay. If you get into bankruptcy, he's going in there and drawing it out of your labor account. He's not telling you what he's doing. They just don't set this shit off for nothing. Yeah, they're paying, and then basically the judges and everything else are getting kickbacks off this because that trustee is basically acting as a trustee, and he can write charges over for the judge and for the bailiff and everybody else against your labor account. That's what we got to stop. We put a stop to these guys. So you do your non-UCC, then you get it stamped, you run a copy of it, you send it back to yourself, the original, and then you turn around and from the copies, you make certified copies of those. And then send those out to the State Department of Labor, to the Federal Department of Labor, and then basically also to the regional or pension Department of Labor, like on that form that the Iowa claim form, and you're going to have to go into your state and find the appropriate labor claim form or wage claim form there. One of the guys up in New Hampshire, he pulled up his. Basically, it was just a simple one-page document. He didn't have all the stuff that I had on my wage or my claim form for the state of Iowa. But the other one was like whether Social Security and everything, when we go in and claim that, that's with the Department of Labor, and in my case, it was down in Kansas City at the federal building down there. Same thing with my DD-214, military bounty. would be through that Department of Labor. But you can take all your mortgages and everything else and send them into the appropriate place to get these set-offs and the bills paid. And also get your account closed down and get your debit account set up, as you are now going in as a bailee of America of age, and you're not going to be a blue passported person any longer. You're going to be probably a green passported Republic bailee. Anybody that is scared to death about doing this, just leave, please. I don't want to hear from you again. I don't want any bullshit. Oh, this guy over here is doing it this way, and this guy over here is doing it that way. They may be getting some minor shit, but they ain't getting their accounts closed down because they're going to the wrong place. And the courts may be just allowing them to have a little relief because they might be getting a little too close, but they still are not there. Like I said, it's all about labor, and it's in the Department of Labor. It's not in anything else, okay? So basically, I don't want to hear anything else. My stuff, I sent it out Monday. I thought it would get in there yesterday, overnight delivery, in the process by certified mail up to Des Moines, but it didn't. And I don't know whether it even got delivered today. I know one of them's down in the sorting pool down in Kansas City, and the other one's still saying it's in the sorting pool here in Des Moines. So if it didn't get delivered today, they definitely should be delivered tomorrow, but that means that I'm probably not going to hear anything from them until maybe Monday or Tuesday of next week. But we have a right to our labor. They can't deny us that. And you've got to stand up to them. They ain't just going to hand it over to you. Like all these, like that judge up in Alaska. Oh, yeah, we're getting this all. We're going to settle this all for everybody. No, it don't work that way. The whole country is getting totally out of control. Road rage and everything. You can go into the damn internet and see how people are just getting totally pissed off. Hell, Colorado's having 200-some cases a day of road rage. It's going to get a lot worse. Okay, now, does anybody have any questions on this?
Yeah, Patrick, Mark here.
Go ahead.
Just to review the process, are we still involving the affidavits? Affidavit of international organization, and there was another one just for internal records?
Yeah, you do it for your own records, and then basically if they ever question why you think you're classified as an international organization, you've got your documentation right there to show them.
So you use that as part of the enforcement process, and like you say, people have to stand up on their own 2 feet and be prepared to fight for this because, they're not just going to get a check in the mail.
Yeah. And why would you want a check in the mail? I want a debit card.
Yeah, I know. It's a
Check,
figure of
you've got to
speech.
go to a bank to cash, where a debit card, you can just go in there to an ATM machine and cash it. You don't need to talk to no damn banker.
Yeah, I know. It's just a figure of speech there. The point is, people have to be prepared to fight for this, you know?
Yeah.
And get out on the battlefield. You know, I've had some comments on my YouTube channel. People say, well, where's the proof? Show me a video. And I just tell these people, get the hell out of the way. You know, whether we win or lose, we're going to do it with honor. We're not sitting on a couch. We're in the bleacher stand, you know, cheering someone on or being a critic. You know, we're fighting for freedom here, and we're on the battlefield. We're in the trenches. We're the ones that are pushing the envelope to try and salvage what's left of this dying republic.
Yeah, we're not looking for silver, gold, or a set value or anything like that. We just want all of our labor returned to us.
That's right.
And you can't put a value on labor.
And my point is, we have to take the attitude of a warrior that, you know, there's probably going to be resistance, and it's up to us as each individual to stand on our own 2 feet and to claim our ground and to demand what's owed.
Right.
What's right is demand the law. So it's a mindset, you know, it's a frame of mind that people have to have.
Yeah.
So that's the point I wanted to make.
And I mean, stand up to these judges. I ran that deal that I had Tom post this morning about the damn, is this a Republic courthouse or a damn house of prostitution? Basically, I think I'm going to stick that on all 4 doors going into the damn county courthouse. Yeah, shake them up. I'm sure they'll hear something about it. But I mean, yeah, go ahead.
You mentioned the debit card. What about? Have you heard about the white card, or is anyone on the line? And also,
you don't know what color it is, okay? Don't believe anything that anybody else is out there unless they're talking about doing a claim of their labor.
Okay,
they're wrong.
You were talking about the same thing.
So anybody else that's talking out there, and they're not talking about going to the Department of Labor and getting their labor from them, turn them off. Tell them you're barking up the wrong tree, and I'm not going to follow you. Okay?
Yeah, I just wanted to see if you were speaking to the same thing, and I also wanted to mention, hey, Mark, glad you're on the call. This is grateful, and I haven't been able to get back with you yet, but I'm glad you got to this call. This was where some of the information I was speaking of was coming from.
Okay.
Yeah, Mark, you're overloading your microphone, but if you could back off just a little bit, it would help.
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
That's much better.
Will do. How's that?
That's good.
Okay, so Patrick, on procedural issues again, then we sent a courtesy notice to the chief bankruptcy judge in the federal district. You said before.
The chief judge for the federal district, not bankruptcy judge. Most of your bankruptcy judges are females. You want the chief judge in the federal district, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, most of those bankruptcy judges are just prostitutes. They're just whores, okay?
Okay, so this is the chief.
Yeah, that's the one that basically when I sent a letter up to the damn bankruptcy judge and said, I'm getting tired of getting fucked over, but I used FWCK, and that's what brought the U.S. Marshals down to see me, and they were going to try and arrest me for threatening the judge. I said, well, basically, that's not what that word means. Nobody uses that word properly. That's a Roman, and that means when the sovereign is getting messed with. So they backed down. The sheriff just about fell out of his chair laughing when he found out that's what they were down there for.
What was the word you were referring to?
FWCK. It's Latin, meaning when a sovereign is getting messed with. And see, that's what the English, in their bullshit language, they took that word and turned it into to use, and then they dropped one of them.
Okay.
And then gave it a new meaning, hiding the original meaning of the word. Yeah, the English are notorious for hiding all this stuff.
Well, like you said before, we need to look up all these words to use.
Right. That was one of the key things that people should have had. They should have always had a dictionary and a Bible to try and understand what the hell's really going on out here. And the whole thing about the Bible from the very beginning has always been about labor. Cain didn't get paid his labor. That's why he quit. He got remarked and went out on his own. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to be playing Cain and getting rid of our Abels. And you ain't going to go to hell by doing this. You'll go to heaven.
Yeah, we got to be good stewards, and this is part of being a good steward.
Yeah. But I mean, this is viable for anybody, even in jail, to turn around and find out how much their charge is that's keeping them in jail and come in and pay the debt. Put the order into the Department of Labor to draw the funds out and get you out of debt. Instead of going to the Secretary of Treasury, you've got to go to the Department of Labor now.
So let's talk about that process. Let's say we've already done the UCC and everything is all set up. Now there's a criminal charge. How would that be presented? Back to the Department of Labor for the case number, the charge labeled as a case number?
You've already got your UCC? You've already claimed your account?
Yeah. Am I thinking out of line here?
If you're out in the Republic, they're not going to charge you with anything unless you cause harm or damage.
That's right.
Okay? They can't charge you in the Republic. They can only charge in the commercial endeavor while you appear to be a United States corporate citizen. Right. Because they can only charge the fictions. So if you get rid of all your fictions, they have nobody to charge.
And that's from that green national passport, the green passport that they're talking about. It has an endorsement on it or inside of it. And that endorsement basically states that you're a United States national and not a United States citizen. Okay.
Or a United States Republic citizen. I'd rather be a republic than a national, because that's what this country was founded upon, just like the Roman Empire, and it's still a Roman republic out there, we are a republic citizen.
Because the national still owes allegiance to the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's not what you want.
Yeah, it's sort of. Yeah, they'll play every trick in the game in the process. Just go and check it out with the Secretary of State's office and see how they. You can expatriate and all this and that, but basically, right. No, basically the one guy that came over was over here as a student that I heard about from Lewis. Basically, he went and he was going to Southern Cal or something, and he wanted to become a United States citizen. Well, his father called him back home and said, "Oh, no, you get back here first. You need to have some more education." So he went back, and then he came back over, and he was going to become a California Republic citizen. And then when he sat there and basically kept calling for United States citizens, at 2 of the levels in the courthouse, and he said, no, I'm waiting to become a California Republic citizen. Finally, he went up to the top floor and to the court up there, and he got his California Republic citizenship, okay, by becoming naturalized in the process, and he got a green passport. Well, that passport is also a passbook savings account, and basically now they give you also a card to go along with that passport. So that would be the debit card that you would be able to use, because, see, even with a blue passport right now, you get stranded overseas, you have your passport, and in a lot of cases, these hotels make you give your passport to them. They'll hold it for safekeeping while you're in the country, and then they'll give it back when you check out to you. So basically, if somebody rips off your wallet while you're there, you still got your passport there. You can take the passport down to the American consulate and get funds out of that blue passport, because that's a passbook savings account.
Okay, so we're reactivating that. Good. You talked about the passport.
We're going to close down the blue one, and we're going to get a green one.
Okay.
The blue one is a debtor one, okay? And see, they would try and make you pay that back once you got back to the country, because you didn't know what the hell you were doing. But they're just drawn against your labor anyway. We get rid of all the items we have right now. Passport, driver's license, everything. That green passport will be our driver's license, our right to travel as a republic citizen.
And you think the Chief Justice will handle that?
He may not. I sent one off to my Supreme Court Justice also.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, I'm waiting, because the key thing is, and I was hoping that basically these things would have hit the Department of Labor already. So basically, I've got these other guys sort of primed, but until the item really shows up at the Department of Labor, they're not going to do anything until I have that signed in, that hard copy signed into them.
Right. Take care of the accounts first.
Now, you sign one of these wage forms for every one of our accounts, like the licenses and blue passport, or
only if you need to, Tom.
Oh.
Only if you're putting a reclaim in, like for traffic tickets, okay? Otherwise, you're doing the non-UCC and the letter to the Department of Labor telling them you're closing down all the accounts. That's your claim form right there.
So
the other
we're
is just to claim certain items back, like what we were trying to do with that 1047 form.
Yes. So we're not filling out these wage claim things as a timesheet. We're going for full value.
Right. Only the only 2 items that you use on that wage form, you don't know what your person's working. He's working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Okay? 40 hours. After 40 hours, everything's overtime. Now that goes to the federal Department of Labor, because those are securities, and the United States SEC controls the securities. The states only get the 40 hours. You got to read between the lines of what my claim form said when you understand what it's saying. The state can only get paid for the 40 hours. You didn't
Okay,
read
I
the
didn't
form.
get an Iowa claim form on. I just took your Skype thing again, and I didn't see an Iowa claim form. I just pulled a blank one down from the website from Iowa, but I didn't see how you filled one out.
Well, I didn't show how to fill one out. I'm working on it to fill in the blanks on it right now. Because otherwise, you just have to handwrite it in there.
Yeah, I have
You need to get that non-UCC done first. Get that into the mail. Get that recorded. Get it back. Now you start going and putting the letter in to the Department of Labor claiming all of your accounts and shutting them all down. Don't mess around with this. Don't try and get nickels when you're going to be able to get out of the system, and then basically you won't have to worry about this shit. There won't be anything left in your account to claim.
Okay. That's fine.
I was just trying to use that as an example to get you to sort of see that these guys are saying, hey, it's right here in the Department of Labor.
Right.
Proof. Proof's in the pudding.
I looked up my Ohio form. It's not as complete as yours, but it's not extremely simple.
And it probably didn't tell you to go to the federal window for overtime or to the other federal window for pensions and other categories.
I'll have to check that.
Yeah, you have to find out where your Social Security check's coming out of. Basically, that's probably the federal window that you need to go to, is wherever that Social Security check that you're getting. There's a federal Department of Labor wherever that Social Security check's coming out of. Mine comes out of Kansas City.
Mine's Direct Express. So
but it comes from somewhere, Tom.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
call up your local Social Security office and find out where it's cut from. Where is the local Social Security fed back to?
Got it. I will contact.
Okay.
Sure.
So Patrick, let's talk about enforcement. You know, we're saying contact me within 3 days. And you know what? Chances are they won't. Then what?
You don't know that, okay? So don't say that.
Well,
you haven't done it yet. Nobody's gone to the right window. So basically, when you go to the right banking window and you put your claim in, okay, and that's what I said. I've got to wait until it gets to the Department of Labor. I'm not going to hear anything from the trustee or anything like that because they're going to check with the Department of Labor and see whether the form has gotten there.
Okay, so first things first.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they can't deny you that. When you operate in honor, in the law, then you can come in and put the claim into that chief banker, that chief judge for the federal district and say, what the fuck? Don't you guys know how to honor a lawful claim? Yeah, see, you stand over that fucking judge. You are the bailee. You bailed this fucking country out. It's we the people's country. It's not the fucking corporation's country. And we are the bailees over this. We give them our assets. So we bail them out. That's how you have to talk. I mean, basically, I've got my damn county attorney shaking in his damn boots. he don't even want to see me. Because he knows if I'm walking towards him, I've got something else I'm going to chew his ass out for. And there's not a damn thing that he can do about it.
I think that's the biggest challenge for most people is just shifting the mindset from being a subject to a principal.
Right.
And talking like it and acting like it. We're the boss.
Yeah.
And we have to have that level of confidence. And that's why you have to look up each word, understand everything that's on your paperwork, do some background, and just know it inside and out so that when you're nose to nose with the Chief Justice of the 9th District of the federal courts, you can undress him when you need to.
Yeah. Go take a picture of the damn county prosecutor or a judge and then paste it on the wall. Sit there and cuss them out. Build up a little stamina. Then when you see them face to face, you won't back down. Anybody else have any questions?
Just need to get out there and do it.
Okay. Okay, go ahead and call tonight, Tom.
Thank you, Patrick.
Okay.
Yeah,
Later.
thanks, Pat. See you.
Night.
Good night.
Thanks, Pat. Love it. Waiting for the Mets meeting. Thank you.